There's a whisper in the dusty corners of history, a name that echoes across Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. It's Enoch. For over 2,300 years, his writings were believed to be the very foundation of early Judaism. Imagine a text that predates the Bible by centuries, shaping religious thought at its very roots. Then, silence. The Book of Enoch vanished, its secrets seemingly lost to time. In a stunning rediscovery, a complete manuscript of the book resurfaced in Ethiopia, dating back over 2,000 years. In the 1700s, the Ethiopian Orthodox Church scholar Abu Rachmanus discovered a collection of scrolls containing the Book of Enoch. A couple of centuries later, some scrolls were also unearthed in the West Bank, piecing together the same ancient scripture. What secrets did these scrolls hold? Was their knowledge within them so powerful it could corrupt the human mind? That's what we'll explore. But first, let's explore who is or was Enoch. Before this discovery, Enoch was already a revered figure in both Judaism and Christianity. The Bible mentions him as a man who walked with God and was taken by God without experiencing death, Genesis 5:24. However, details about Enoch were scarce. In Judaism, Enoch is mentioned in the book of Genesis, part of the Hebrew Bible, or the Old Testament. He's renowned for his righteousness, being one of only 2 individuals taken directly to heaven by God without experiencing death, the other being Elijah. His brief biblical description sparks much later interpretation. In rabbinic literature, Midrash, Talmud, Enoch is depicted as a pious sage and scribe who receives divine revelations. Some texts elevate him to the status of an archangel, Metatron. In Islam, Enoch is revered as the prophet Idris. He's described in the Quran as a truthful and patient man, elevated to a high station by God. Islamic tradition portrays Idris as exceptionally knowledgeable. The Quran doesn't explicitly mention his scholarly pursuits or inventions, but these attributions appear in hadiths and Islamic commentaries. These sources credit him with teaching writing, astronomy, mathematics, and with inventing tools like the pen and needle. Now that we know who he was, let's what he revealed in his scripture. The hidden knowledge of Enoch. Origins of demons and Nephilim. The Book of Enoch lays out a unique pre-flood narrative focused on a group of angels called the Watchers. These angels, enticed by the beauty of human women, descend to earth and take them as wives. Their illicit unions produce the offspring of monstrous giants, known as the Nephilim. The Watchers further corrupt humankind by teaching forbidden arts and knowledge, from metalworking to cosmetics. This transgression and the subsequent birth of the Nephilim are presented as a pivotal source of evil in the world. Their violent and destructive nature, combined with the forbidden knowledge revealed to humanity, throws the world into chaos. This narrative offers an explanation for the pervasiveness of wickedness and suffering. While the term demon is fluid, the fallen Watchers and their offspring hold strong parallels with later concepts of demonic forces. Their rebellion against God, their malevolent influence on humanity, and their association with forbidden knowledge mark them as demonic figures in various interpretations. Secrets of fallen angels. The Book of Enoch goes beyond simply stating angels fell. It provides a detailed roster with individual names and assigned roles. Leaders like Azazel and Semyaza are singled out, each associated with teaching specific forbidden arts and crafts. This specificity adds depth to angelic lore, often lacking in canonical texts. While their motivations are primarily lustful, the book hints at other possible motives behind their fall. Some interpretations suggest they were attempting to elevate humanity, to break the boundaries imposed by God. This layer adds complexity to the traditional narrative of angelic rebellion. The Book of Enoch vividly outlines the consequences awaiting these fallen angels. They are condemned by God and bound in remote places of the earth to await final judgment. This establishes the idea of fallen angels not only as a past threat, but a future one looming over humanity. Apocalyptic visions and prophecies. Unlike most prophetic biblical figures, Enoch doesn't just receive visions. He himself journeys through various realms. He ascends to the heavens, witnessing the cosmic structure and even glimpsing God's throne. He's also shown regions of punishment for rebellious angels and a future paradise for the righteous. The Book of Enoch is heavily apocalyptic. Visions of a looming flood echo the story of Noah, but expand upon it. This isn't simply punishment for humanity's wickedness, but a cosmic reset connected to the fallen angels' disruption of the natural order. Amidst the cataclysm, the text introduces a figure known as the Son of Man, a messianic redeemer who will judge the wicked and restore righteousness. This offers a glimmer of hope after the devastation, laying a framework for messianic expectations in later Judaism and early Christianity. Why was this book banned? There are several reasons why the Book of Enoch was excluded from the Hebrew Bible, Tanakh, and the Christian New Testament, despite its historical and thematic connections. Scholars generally believe the Book of Enoch was written in stages, with the earliest sections dating back to the 3rd century BC and the latest editions composed around the 1st century AD. This places it outside the traditional timeframes for accepted biblical texts. Many established religious authorities favored earlier works attributed to known prophets or figures closer to the events they described. Content and theological discrepancies. The Book of Enoch's content presented some challenges to established doctrines. The concept of angels rebelling and having offspring with humans wasn't a mainstream idea in Judaism at the time. Additionally, the emphasis on demonic influence and the graphic descriptions of punishment clashed with the developing notions of God's absolute power and benevolence in both Judaism and Christianity. The Book of Enoch's emphasis on a cataclysmic flood and a harsh final judgment wasn't entirely aligned with the evolving theological ideas about God's mercy and forgiveness which were gaining traction. The process of establishing official canons, approved lists of religious texts, happened gradually in both Judaism and Christianity. The Book of Enoch, with its late dating and certain controversial themes, may not have fit neatly within the established criteria for inclusion. The Book of Enoch was preserved by the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, where it remains a part of their biblical canon. This highlights the diversity of interpretation and the complex history of religious texts across different cultures. Today, the Dead Sea Scrolls are scattered among various institutions. The Shrine of the Book, located at the Israel Museum in Jerusalem, houses the vast majority of the fragments. Other portions are held by institutions like the Jordan Museum in Amman and the Rockefeller Museum in Jerusalem. These institutions continue to meticulously conserve and study the scrolls, using advanced technologies to unlock their secrets. The Book of Enoch may not have made it into the official canons, but its survival and rediscovery offer a fascinating window into a different strain of religious thought and the ongoing process of defining religious scripture. The Dead Sea Scrolls and the Book of Enoch's presence raise even more questions. Why were they hidden? Why were some of these texts deemed sacred while others were forgotten? What ancient mysteries fascinate you? Which lost chapters of history would you like to see illuminated? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's continue this conversation together. If you found this journey enlightening, subscribe for more explorations into the hidden corners of history.